Welcome and thank you for tuning in to the Royal Experience with Fireball. I am so excited to have you all here with me today. It is amazing to see you tuning in and learning about all of the local heroes and the ways to stop abuse. But don't forget to like and share and subscribe to the Royal Hearts Foundation and the What It Do Network YouTube channels. On the Royal Experience, we will talk about all things surrounding abuse. You will meet survivors of child, physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. We will give you tips on how to protect children and ways to prevent child abuse in your realm of influence. We will talk about life after and the work it takes. But before we do, I like to start the show off with a word of the day. Today's word is brought to you by Phoenix Rising. The word of the day is called Swerve. Change, to cause or to change direction abruptly, to move in an unusually sharp turn, a complete change of direction, a 180-degree turn. Many of us find ourselves having to change direction abruptly to avoid tragedy or impending danger. Today's guest will share with you how she had to swerve and change directions because of a traumatic experience. She demonstrates the fortitude and the strength required to change direction when family is no longer a safe place. And after a word from our sponsor, you will meet today's special guest. Welcome back. Today we have joining us Queen Marquita Jefferson. Welcome to the Royal Experience, Marquita. Hi. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling excellent.
Good. All right. Thank you for joining us. Marquita, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a fashionista. Fashion is my passion.
I see.
I'm a mother, a wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be an herbalist. Like, I'm doing a lot of different things. I'm in a lot of different places. I have my own clothing brand.
Okay.
I have my own feminine product. It's natural. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of different things.
Is that part of your collection?
No.
You see,
it's abnormal, so it's weird, like different things. I'm different.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like that. I like that. All right. Today you're here to share a heart-wrenching experience. You was a victim of sexual assault.
Yes.
Okay. Was your rapist ever brought to justice?
None.
None of them? Okay. Oh, wow. Does anyone in your family know about your experience?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so, if so, who are they aware of who committed?
Yeah.
They are. Okay. So, what about that time? Can you take us back to that moment when you first expressed to them, your experience and what had happened to you?
Well, I was working at NASA, and I got a phone call from somebody. It's the father of my kids. He's older than supposed to be him, but we separated, so he wanted a blood test. And she was like, I got some results in the mail saying that your oldest child is in for the person he's supposed to be for, who is he for.
So let's back up. Before that, like, you had an experience when you were younger,
yeah.
Right? And you were assaulted by
stepfather.
Okay. And then, and so, did you ever tell anybody about that experience?
At first, I didn't, because he was already assuming. Like, I feel like my family spooked that upon me.
Okay. Interesting. Why do you feel that way?
Because when I was younger, I was fast. I was a fast little girl, and they used to say stuff like, "Oh, he having her," saying stuff like that before it even happened.
Okay.
So, when it was happening, I didn't know who to talk to. And I had to let him anyway, so he couldn't get to my sisters. But he got to her anyway.
Oh, wow. So, that's interesting, the fact that you felt like offering yourself as a sacrifice.
I mean, I had to because when my mom and my daddy, when they separated, we didn't have parents.
Mm-hmm.
It was me. I'm the big sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I had to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
But he still, like I say, he still got to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, and then, so you mentioned multiples. So you had one experience and then you had another experience. All right, and so tell us a little bit about that experience.
That experience, I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
It's a family member. I have a child, my oldest child. It's for the family member. We was all smoking and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only female outside with him and the guys. And we was by another family member house. And I was told that he laced my drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just finding that out. And I went by my cousin's house. She was next door from where we was, and I went inside like he came over and he told me not to lock the door. He'd be back. I'm not thinking nothing. So, you know, I'm getting the big out of here. When I wake up, my drawers down, I'm wet, and he put his clothes back up. And you know, he telling me like lay down, go back to sleep. I'm like, you know, what happened? What just happened? But the only good thing about that, with my kids' father, he remember because I called him that day and told him what happened. So he remember that. So like that, it was driving me insane. But I'm just glad that somebody do remember.
Mm-hmm.
And a family member, the one who said that he laced the drink, they don't want to get involved. But that, you know, that made me feel good too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that people remember because he was trying to pretend like nothing ever happened. And now he's saying that he asked me for a blood test, but he never. But at first he said he never touched me. Now you're asking for a blood test. Like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people like saying stuff like, you know, he went to jail and learned the word consensual. Mm-hmm. So now he's saying consensual. And people like worrying about him, but they not worrying
so
about
was he convicted of raping you? Oh, so he went to jail for
something
different.
else.
Okay.
He was on his way. What happened was when they came out, when I got the results, he was on his way. He's supposed to come talk to me. Really, I think he was on his way to do me something. But I was going to do him something too. I was going to do him something and then kill myself. So he was on his way to come do me something. Mm-hmm. And he got stopped by the police with guns and drugs. Mm-hmm. You know, that was gone. Mm-hmm. And that's that. We never talked about it, you know. And then when that day, I started treating my baby a little different. I didn't know how to handle it at first. But, you know, I got to the point where I was like, that's my baby. I can't, you know, doing that.
So that had to be tough. How old were you at the time?
At that time, I was like 14. Yeah, like 14.
So 14, raped by a cousin. After experiencing sexual abuse in the home.
Rape too. Rape
as
well. Physical abuse as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you also have, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds as if at first you didn't really know that your baby was for him.
I didn't.
Okay. All right. And then some time came and then y'all had to do a blood test and then you figured out that your child was now your cousin's baby.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me about how it was when you had to tell your family.
It was bad because nobody didn't believe me. It was saying, oh, she nasty, she lying, she hot, everybody won't wake up because before that happened, my mama asked me what he was doing. And, you know, I used to misbehave and act out because I was going through what I was going through. Like, I didn't have no family support. And, you know, I used to wonder, like, why me? Like, why I got to go through this? And people used to be messing with me. And at the time, I was going through stuff. So, you know, I used to catch blackout episodes. I didn't realize when I used to hurt people, like, what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, you know, that is a typical response to sexual abuse. Most people respond in exactly that same way. Acting out, mood swings, you know, and many people call it bipolarism or schizophrenia, or you know, and it's just the way that we're coping with something that we can't take control of. It's your body's response of trying to just deal with trauma, you know. I commend you. I thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your experience. Because I can imagine that there are going to be so many people going to watch this show and be like, "Oh wow, that's me." Like I can see me in this young lady. So Marquita, I truly, my hats are off to you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about the birth process and thereafter.
Yes, this thick small. Wait, what? That's the shit I'm talking about. You're just like your no good ass bitch.
I'm all worked up. How about you go ahead and give me that cold glass of water?
What the goddamn? You're the fucking rapist!
Silas, don't use that type of damn language in my house.
Rapist!
Hey, I'm so sorry.
That boy's a damn
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What is this? Phoenix. Phoenix? What the hell is this? Wait a minute.
Phoenix?
Yes.
Are you serious?
They always telling me something. Can't do this, can't do that. Why I just can't be my own person?
Baby, I know you're gonna let them chicken heads outdo you tonight, baby.
Of course not.
See, that's what I'm talking about. What you need to understand is this is not Snake House, okay? This is my house and it's my rules the way I want it to be.
That you try to steal somebody else's customers, that's called drafting. You gotta pay that.
Well, steal them back.
No, you gonna give my money.
Tommy's about to do some crazy stuff. You
Just sit your ass down.
You got hurt the baby. Stop. Patch up busted lips and scrape elbows. I just wanted it all to be through.
But all he did was take away my identity and force me to live a life full of insecurities and emptiness.
Welcome back to the Royal Experience with Fireball. Our special guest today is Marquita Jefferson. For those who are just tuning in, Marquita just revealed to us that she was raped by her stepfather, then her cousin, and later found out that she was pregnant. Marquita, originally, you were definitely not certain, like what we brought up in the last clip. How has that been? Because you kind of hinted to that earlier about just the whole adjustment period with your son after finding that out. Like,
Well,
how has that
when
relationship been?
with me and my son, me and my son, we always had a good relationship. We always was close. But when the results came back, that same day because I always didn't show my kids affection because I didn't get that from my parents. So I always showed them affection, and he was used to that. So that day he was coming to give me a hug, and I pushed him away because I didn't know how to deal with having a baby for a family member and a child that have a face exactly like that family member. Like I didn't want to look at him and stuff. And then, I was like, I can't do him that. I love him. He had to be like 4 or 5, something like that. He had to be like 5. Like he's 21 now. He'll be 22 this year. He had to be 4 or 5. And he stood, when I pushed him away, he stood in the doorway and he was like, I know you love me, Mama. And I go down and I gave him a hug and I hugged him like I can't do him. Because I already had love for him before I knew the truth, So I just didn't do him that. And I didn't treat him no different. You would, if I didn't tell you the story, you wouldn't know because he's not retarded. I feel like he's a gift from God. Like everything that he wanted to do, he's good at. He's a barber. He know how to box. He know how to rap. He know how to play football. Like he just know how to do everything. He know how to draw. Me and him have our own clothing brand.
He sounds like a Gemini. He's a Gemini.
No, he's a Leo.
We Geminis are amazing. Okay.
He's a Leo. And his mom a Scorpio. But I just feel like he'll give food all to me.
Okay. Well, definitely, kids. They don't ask to come to this world, and it's a shame that he was brought in the way that he was. But we thank God he's here.
I him about it. He's like 13.
Okay. So
I
you
told
told
him
him
about it because the way my family is, I didn't want him to hear from nobody else. And I didn't want him to, why you just let me and hate me. And at that time, he was young, so he was nonchalant. He liked that. He nonchalant, like nothing about him. Like, he humble. I told him to teach me to be like him. Because he's very humble. And, when we first talked about it, he never, he wasn't worried about it. And, in 2018, we talked about it. And that's when he really expressed to me how he felt. He was like, he never really wanted to deal with it because he didn't want to wanted to hurt me and bother me. And he thanked me and appreciated me for being the mama that I am to him, from pushing him, making him the man that he is. And he also said, he knew who his real dad is, but he wanted a real dad, like not a family member to be his dad. He wanted a dad, but I kept a lot of positive male influences in his life. Like my husband, the reason like he liked the band. My son good with any instrument. He good. He cut hair. Like different men was around him, and it was positive. He's a good kid. To say that he was conceived and stuff, he's not messed up. Give him a problem. It's just I feel like he's a perfect gift from God.
So how is the relationship with your son and your cousin?
They don't have him.
Okay.
But I had asked him, it's whenever he's ready. It's all about him.
How do you feel about it? Because I don't think that's a topic, because that's hard.
I don't want no parts. Like if he decides to talk to him, I don't want no parts. That's gonna be weird to me. I don't. If that's what they want to do, that's them. I don't want to say, your daddy or something. I don't want.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Me to be honest,
even 20 years later,
I'm to the point like now, if they never take a blood test or they never get it straight, like me and my son, he said my husband is dead, and God is dead, so that's how we look at it now. We don't even care anymore because like we getting blessed. Like what the devil made feel bad, God turned around and made it good. My son doing good. It's not bothering him. I have sicknesses and stuff, but I'm saying like I'm over that. I could talk about it. I could help little girls and women and stuff that been raped, So, yeah.
Okay. So you also mentioned that your family hasn't been very supportive. How are they with your son?
Oh, we don't go around. They don't.
Oh, wow.
They don't know my kids like that. They don't know.
Wow.
But I found out that it's a generational curse that gets them happening. I'm not the only person that happens to, and I'm not the only person he done this to.
Wow. In your family.
And he's not the only person that's doing that. So it's generational.
So it's within the family.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I definitely, am happy that you came through and expressed, what's going on, because I think this is something that just has to be revealed within our
That's
own
why I was
community.
going to talk about it, because everywhere, I could detect a person that been molested or they've been raped. For some reason, I just know, like I could feel it the way they act.
Experience.
And I feel like if you haven't been raped, you can't tell me anything. Like it's no advice you could give me because you didn't been through it. It's horrible. Like, nobody knows how to feel. You have to have been going through it because you don't want to be born. You know, like why they chose me. It's something I'm doing to give off a hint. You fault yourself. You go to line so much till you go to believe in.
And that was going to be my next question, because
you fault yourself. You do.
Because you mentioned, I was fast, I was this, I was that. And so as a result, did you at the time blame yourself for the rape?
At that time, no, I didn't. But as I got older and, was thinking about it when I was acting out and doing the things that I was doing, because I used to fight a lot for anything. Blackout and I had to fight. You could just look at me when we fight and say you want to fight, we fight. And that's how I used to be because of what I was going through. And I didn't know I was like that. Everybody just knew me as the nice girl, but kind of crazy. She nice when you play with her, she crazy. That's what they knew me as. But I didn't want to be known as that kind of person, because after I beat you up, I'll come back to reality. I'm crying too. So that's why people thought I was crazy, because I'm crying. Yeah, because I didn't realize I did that. And
and so today, do you still take responsibility for?
No, it's not my fault that they sick. I feel like somebody done it to them and they done thought it was okay. And to be honest with you, I forgave them. I think somebody did it to them and they need help. Hurt people.
Definitely. Every 73 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. That is, every 73 seconds, that's a minute and a few seconds, someone is raped. And unfortunately, majority of the victims are under the age of 30. 12 to 17 is a frequency, but that college age, oh God, that is such a prevalent age of so many rapes. And I think the idea that families and people don't believe victims is why it continues to happen.
It's gone.
Because people won't come forward. They hide the rape.
They sweep it under the rug.
Because it's, you know,
like nothing ever happened.
And much like you blame yourself. You know, well,
because
I wore this, or I was smoking, or I was drinking, or I shouldn't have been there. Why would I be a girl in a place with just boys? Like, you know, you begin to question every little thing that you did as if you went there saying, hey, rape me, right. You know, and in actuality, men, or I'm sure the cousin didn't go there with the idea that, oh, hey, I'm gonna put this on, so I guess maybe I'm gonna get raped today. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. God, you know, they don't have to think about that, and so neither should we. You know, neither should victims of sexual assault have to also worry about whether or not what they're wearing or what they're saying or what they're doing is going to cause them to be violated. You know, I don't think that nothing that anyone does welcomes a violation. So, you know, 79% of survivors who are victimized by a family member or a close friend, someone within the home, someone that they know, an acquaintance, you know, a professional, anything, emotional. These are things that are byproducts, right, of sexual assault. You know, young people, you know, they're least likely to disclose, least likely to tell anybody. Very often victims of sexual assault blame themselves. Our culture blames the victim. It's set that way. Even judges, you know, one of the things that I had saw on the news was that a judge, when it was a white young college man who was being convicted of rape, he got 6 months, and he was said, and he gave him 6 months because it was lost potential, because he felt that the rapist going to prison and having that on his record would be lost potential. There was no regard to the victim that he raped, or the therapy, or the years of emotional distress that she's going to have following. You know, media outlets quick to ask, what was she wearing, or calling her names.
That's
or
why
anything.
People don't see it.
That is exactly Black people. This attitude is devastating for victims, resulting in numerous victims suffering in silence.
And then they have people, like, they'll try to hurt you when they find out, like my situation. I get into it with people. Oh, that's why you got a baby for your cousin. You're nasty. You was effing your cousin, knowing, you know, that he raped me and I got a baby for him or whatever. But they'll say something like, yeah, you've been having sex, you got a baby for your cousin. Now it don't hurt me no more, but like that's how people used to try. Like when people find it out, when you put it out, you gotta be ready, because there's some cold-hearted people out there.
You know, and that is unfortunate, you know, to have cold-hearted people that blames and continues to say, one, you're 14, you can't consent. There's no consent. It's automatic rape. Automatic. There wouldn't even been a question. You could have been naked in the bed and you could have been convicted. Because at 14, you can't consent. So, I mean, victims are not to blame for the poor choices or criminal behavior of anyone else, you know. So this is crazy, you know. But thank you for tuning in. And after a short break, we will be back with some more from Queen Marquita Jefferson.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Petey Paul, and I'm here to introduce you to my new network called the What It Do Network. If you ever thought about wanting to have your own platform, you want your own podcast, to have a larger voice, a place to where you can interview people, you can talk about issues, you can promote your own company. Your hobby, you can promote whatever it is you want to do, such as the equipment is here. space is here. The engineers here. Everything you need to create that network of business that you want to draw in to you. The What It Do Network is for everyone. You want a platform where you have a larger voice, you're being heard throughout the city, even nationwide. If it matters to you, this is the place for you. The What It Do Network. Come see me.
Welcome back to the Royal Experience. We've been talking with the Queen, Marquita Jefferson, who wants to be known as Miss Pretty Kitty, right?
Yes.
All right, so thank you, Queen, for just sharing with us your experience, your bravery. I truly, truly commend you with sharing your story with the world. We've talked a lot about trauma. Tell us what you're doing today.
Well, today, next weekend, I'm going to Arkansas. Me and my son's clothing brand is going to be in the store in that mall.
What city?
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
Yeah,
Okay.
Portsmouth, Arkansas.
Okay.
And I have my own feminine product called Pretty Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 different fragrances. I have Pretty Kitty and I have Pretty Kitty Plus. Pretty Kitty is just like the balance your pH without you being irritated and getting yeast infection for people that's sensitive. Pretty Kitty Plus, I recommend you use it for the time of the month. That's when, you know, a lot of women itch and you get yeast infection and bacterial vaginosis. It cures it. It's all natural. You don't have to worry about, you know, itching and all that kind of stuff. And I made these dolls. I invented it called Sassy Glamour Candy Dolls. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of different
Now,
things.
what is that? That sounds interesting.
Sassy Glamour Candy Dolls. These, you know, back in the days, they used to do like the little faces with the peppermint heads.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do the small ones, and I do the faces, and I do like the fruity candies, and I do different hairstyles with the candies. I make earrings. I dress them up like real baby dolls, and I make them talk. So, and I call them Sassy Glam Candy Dolls. I have one for every holiday, every season.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So, you know, what led you to this Swerve? Because I know we don't just go from trauma to just being.
It wasn't easy.
Oh,
it wasn't easy. I've been through it. I mean,
give us 3 things. Just narrow it down for me to 3 things that
I could give you 3 things. Just pretty more than 3.
I'm sure.
God first.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in church, but he came to me.
Mm-hmm.
The day that I got the results, I was going to kill myself, and I actually heard him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he came to me, God first, my kids, and just, I've always been a good person. I always wanted to help people, and when I realized more and more people have been through what I've been through, and you know, I realized even after what I've been through, I'm still able to be successful and achieve my dreams and goals. I want to let people know they still can. Everything happened for a reason. This happened like this before I was time. They have a part in the Bible called Tamar's rape, something like this.
Definitely. You know, definitely the things that are happening now are nothing new to God. You know, we've always seen that in the Bible and growing up, is that, you know, God isn't surprised at the things that happen. You know, we are, but he's not. You know, he knows it's happened. You know, history continues to repeat itself. And so we just have to be conscious enough to know where we are in the process and be able to reevaluate and swerve if need be. You know, so how can our audience connect with you? How can they get some of your products? How can they, you know, I know you're going to be in the mall for people who want to buy your clothes, but do you have a website?
I don't have a website yet, but I do have social media, and they can, you know, get my phone number. My social media, Facebook is Makita Pretty Kitty Jeff, and I have a social media for my feminine products, Pretty Kitty Feminine Products, and my Instagram is Melanin Pretty and Kitty. So Melanin _ Pretty _ Kitty _ but once you hit Melanin, it's gonna pop up. And my phone number is 504-294-0909. I'm also starting like a nonprofit organization for like rape victims.
Okay.
Men, women, boys, and girls. And I'm doing a lot of things.
Okay. So you guys, you heard it here. Go ahead and follow, share, go like all of her stuff so that you guys can kind of keep in touch. with what she has going on, especially if you are a victim of sexual assault. She has something that will be, coming out for you real soon. But like you guys know, I like to close each show with a few minutes to reflect and release. On today's show, we discussed, when the rapist is in your family. The acts of violence are serious and tough topics that may stir up negative and painful emotions. So what I like you guys to do at this time is just to take all of those emotions and ball them up in an internal balloon. Close your eyes and take a long, deep breath. Take all the nastiness and suck it up and blow it out slowly. We're going to repeat that again. I want you to take the rest of all of what you're feeling. Suck it all up, blow it out slowly. And one more time. Think about how brave you are, how magnificent you are, and suck up all or any remaining negativity and blow it away from you slowly. Thank you for joining me today on The Royal Experience. Please feel free to send any questions or comments to thatgirlfireball@gmail.com. Abuse, it doesn't define you. It's just a jewel that's added to your crown.